Hey, this is Lee Nevis, host of CJ and Cell. Thanks for listening to the following podcast on Public House Media.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Pageant Pals.
I'm Maddie.
And I'm Jess.
And welcome back to Crown and Dangerous.
Episode 19.
Woo!
Woo!
So exciting.
Crazy. Every time I feel like, wow, we've made it so far, but next time is episode 20. That feels like a long time.
That is really crazy.
Ugh, wild. But crazy things have been happening and crazier things have happened. Our last episode was on college life and dating and competing, especially when you have a full schedule. So be sure to check out the last episode wherever you're listening right now. But we had a pretty fun, couple of weeks since we last spoke with you.
What did we do the first weekend? Obviously, this past weekend, it was your birthday.
Was it Easter the weekend before?
Yeah, it was.
Easter was the weekend before, hung out with fam.
Yeah, kind of boring, honestly.
Yeah, nothing crazy. I love going home for holidays and stuff, but I'm always anxious to get back so I can sleep in my own bed.
Right.
Especially because my little brother took over my room back home, so I don't feel like that's home anymore, and it's really sad. And then my parents took me off their taxes, so now I'm just now what?
Feeling like a villain?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good going home for Easter just because my dad and sister were done with tax season.
Yep.
And my dad's an accountant, owns his own business, and my sister works for him. Bless her heart. On top of her other job that she does. So they were both in a pretty good mood, which is great. My mom hides my Easter basket.
That's cute. I brought home an Easter basket. My mom just gave it to me.
That's cute.
But then again, I kind of wanted to look for it.
I could not. I find my sister's first every year. Every year. Within the first 5 to 10 minutes of looking, I find Meg's. And Meg, I know she's listening. She cannot find her way out of a box.
Aww.
Love you, Meg, but no. So I always found her. But she found mine first this year. But Meg does this annoying thing where she lies and tells me she didn't see it.
Oh, yeah.
And then she does see it. I don't know. I just tell her if I see it.
Anna used to do that when we were little. My sister, she's not listening because she's not supportive. But totally kidding.
Shout out, Meg.
But no, Anna used to do this when we were little, when we were all looking for our baskets. So there was 5 of us. So it took a while. But Anna would maybe find her basket, but she wouldn't tell anybody. And then she'd be the last one looking. So all the attention was on her. And I'm like, okay, well, I could relate.
Right.
But yeah, Easter was fun. And then the weekend after was my birthday.
Woo!
Yeah, my birthday was just last weekend. Which was really fun. I had a blast.
Fun.
I had a blast.
I feel like we've kind of turned into hermits a little bit before
we
the
have.
weekend. That made me realize how much of hermits we've been.
Yeah.
We've just been.
all winter we were just cooped up in here.
Yeah. We were tired. The weather was really bad.
Yeah.
We just weren't into it.
Seasonal depression is a real thing, I think.
We should get happy lights.
I like
My
that.
friend used to have one of those. It's literally, it's nicknamed a happy light. And you plug it in and it gives you some kind of ion
real kind of sunlight
thing, yeah, and it's supposed to make you happy.
Wow, I should invest in that. Well, it's getting nicer outside now, but
right.
But yeah, it was just kind of dreary, so it was nice to just kind of go out and have fun for a few days.
When seasonal depression ends and you realize you're just so sad. It was a super fun weekend. Friday we went out. Saturday we had a game.
We were in the snow. We were in the snow and rain, and it was cold.
Yeah, my hair was stringy AF.
Yeah,
it was upsetting. Plus, too, I remember I got this new purse for my birthday, and I was planning to leave it in your car, and then I totally forgot about it. So then I had to lug it around the whole game. Yeah. So that really tanked, to be honest. Yep. But then we went out after that, which was fun.
It was fun, yeah.
And then we did Sunday brunch.
Sunday brunch was honestly probably my favorite part of the whole thing.
It was really just low-key and fun.
Yeah.
But
super
that
casual.
We call it the 3-day bender because we were out the whole weekend. We drank every single day.
Maddie comes to brunch in sunglasses.
Yeah, my hater blockers. It was sunny out that day, to be fair.
It was really nice. Saturday was a little crappy outside, but Sunday was a beautiful day.
Yeah.
So I got to see my parents, which was nice, and, you know, hang with friends that I haven't seen in a while too, which was really fun.
Right. So Jessica's new boyfriend spent the weekend with us.
Yeah.
Woo!
It was a good time. It was a good time.
The craziness.
Yeah.
I think
he had so much fun though. He was saying.
I think it would be so fun to do an episode where like he comes on and then
we do like Ask the Med Student.
No, not like a med student thing. Just
like an interview?
Just like a boyfriend thing about pageant. I don't know, something fun.
That'd be kind of funny because he's like, never been in the pageant world before.
Right. Like we could ask them like stereotypes or something.
I
kind
of
like
love
facts.
that.
And
we
then,
can make that happen.
The thing is like I need to find a guy to like be on it. It can just be a friend, I guess.
Okay.
But...
Or a med student.
No comment.
Anyway. I love this. So many of you may know, especially if you are pageant fans, that it is Miss USA season. Woo! So prelims were just the other day, but today, by the time you're listening to this, finals night will be happening tonight, Thursday, May 2nd, on Fox. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a prelim recap, some of our thoughts on the competition, some predictions, who we think is doing really well, some things that we've noticed, etc.
Totally. And then we can always, come back with it in 2 weeks when we're back and talk about who won.
And talk about who won, maybe do an interview.
Oh, that would be fun.
That'd be super cool.
That sounded so perky. Do you hear me? Like, that would be fun.
Wow, that's really unlike you.
Oh. It's been, I don't know what's wrong with me. Diagnose me.
Well, yeah.
It's just been a crazy weekend.
It's been a weird
We're
couple
just
of
in
weeks.
Limbo, honestly.
Sorry. We're going downhill real fast.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Okay.
I'm blabbing right now.
Anyway.
But let's talk about Miss USA. I want to talk about production.
Yes. Perfect.
Because that's important, obviously.
Yep,
Plus,
production's
I'm
great.
just totally going to plug my degree in broadcast and digital media, looking at production stuff.
Do it.
But honestly, I think I was watching Miss USA I remember the time I watched, I think it was 2 years ago. I was watching it with one of our old directors.
Yeah.
And we were just like, wow, the production for Miss USA is way better than Miss America.
It's amazing.
Wow. Exactly. And they really...
It's a show. It's a show.
And I do think 2.0 has done better with highlighting the girls' collegiate career.
For sure.
Accomplishments.
That's what I liked about this year's.
But I remember... like a few years ago, Miss America, the fun facts during the talent, like I slapped a shark.
Right. Which is always fun because it adds like this element of like, oh, she's funny.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, if it's a scholarship program, I want to know more about like your education or what you're doing.
It's a double-edged sword because again, it's like, no, we need to focus on these women's accomplishments because this is a scholarship program, but then we'll put in these facts.
Right.
Like these, so.
It was tricky. I feel like it was tricky. But I think Miss USA, especially this year too, they've always kind of like done a decent job at highlighting that they are also like a service organization. But I think in recent years, they've really been pushing like, okay, each girl does have a platform or
I think they benefited from Miss America 2.0, honestly.
For sure. I think they really have. Even last year, I remember I really liked the Miss USA production because they were so focused on like...
They have great sponsors, too.
Oh, great sponsors. They work with like Smile Train, Best Buddies, things like that. Like, and I think they really clearly highlight that at their state competitions, too. I always remember, seeing little snippets of that. But yeah, I think they've done a great job of highlighting the service aspect of Miss USA. So I think they're really turning a corner with that.
Right. And on our sheet too, you wrote something about the Instagram lives.
Yeah.
So talk about that.
Yeah. So I was, I watched Miss USA over again, the prelims, and one general feeling that I got was like really low energy. Okay. Honestly, throughout the whole competition. This says nothing about the girls themselves because I think they're all
have better music.
Maybe that's it because I feel like especially during swimsuit you need something really upbeat and energetic and stuff. So maybe if the music was different, it would have been a little bit more energetic. But I think like I don't know, like I was hoping that the girls would maybe bring more energy. Maybe it was nerves or something. I don't know. But I saw Deshauna Barber's Instagram story and Mia's Instagram story as well. Two former Miss USAs. And Deshauna said the same thing. She was like, one thing that I wish I would have saw was a little bit more energy, especially in swimsuit. Like, she was like, I would have loved to see, you know, more smiles rather than serious faces. And Nia said the same thing. She was like, you know, I agree with Deshauna that, you know, have fun and show them that you have a personality and stuff, because I think so many girls are very focused on like the modeling part of it. And
and I think
you know,
too, the thing about Miss America is I think talent shows so much personality that taking out that element loses a lot.
Right. So I thought overall the energy was a little bit low. So I'm hoping that during the final night broadcast we see a little bit more energy and excitement from them. Another thing that I noticed, the walks were a little iffy.
Yep.
Which surprised me a little bit.
When Jessica pointed that out to me, I looked and I noticed Chinese laundry, tippy top, like they don't, it's not a sponsor anymore.
Yeah.
Which makes me sad because I love my tippy tops. Yep. I will die, you know, for those things.
For sure.
So I noticed that and I looked too. It reminds me of if anyone owns Jonathan Kane touch-ups.
Yes.
I had those were my first pageant shoes, and honestly, those are so hard to walk in.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe it was similar style.
And there's no platform on the bottom of them. Mm-mm. And you feel like a newborn giraffe. You feel like your ankle's going to snap. Yep. They're so pretty.
Right.
But wow, they're hard to walk in.
Terrible to walk in. I've never walked in those. I've only had I had some Tony Bowles ones.
She used to have them, and she was like, "Oh, I think those are the only ones I wear." And I said,
God.
"There's something wrong." Well, they're uncomfortable. They hurt your ankles. My ankles hurt so badly. And I had strong ankles when I wore those because I had ballet and stuff.
You're doing point.
Right.
Yeah.
So what? Yeah,
I know. So now they do have a new shoe sponsor. So I noticed on the Miss USA website, I was kind of scrolling through because I know Sherry Hill is also a big sponsor of theirs. But they have a new shoe sponsor. So it's Lauren Lorraine this time. And I don't know if this is true, but I've heard from other sources that they got their competition shoes upon arrival or shortly before arrival. So I would imagine they probably don't have a whole lot of time to like break them in.
Right.
You know, so that could have been something. Maybe it was a little bit nerve-wracking, you know, to try and walk on stage in a pair of shoes you don't know very well, which is totally understandable. But I don't know. I was just a little bit like, you know, historically Miss USA has been more of like a modeling competition. Mm-hmm. So I thought that maybe the walks would be a little bit like, you know, more fierce and the poses would go along with that, but I don't know.
And I think in Miss America too, just by what I've seen, is I feel like maybe it is the music, but I feel like there's so much energy and the poses are so spot on. I still idolize Victoria Cohen, who's Miss Florida 2014.
I love her.
Her walk was so unique to her. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll throw it up on the Facebook or something.
Yeah, a little video clip.
Oh, I used to love her, and I'm still obsessed with her. I just have a thing for Miss Floridas, I think. Like blonde Miss Floridas are just
there is a blonde Miss Florida USA this year, and I think she'll do pretty well.
Amazing. Yeah. How do you feel about MAO crossovers?
Oh, there are a few MAO crossovers this year. I know for sure. I don't know if there's more, but these are the ones that I picked out. Arkansas USA this year was Miss Arkansas America in 2016. Connecticut's a crossover from 2014, and Oklahoma's a crossover from 2017.
Right. When I saw those, I didn't almost recognize faces, but names I remember.
Names, yeah. So
Acacia Courtney, I remember that one.
Acacia Courtney, Savannah Skidmore, and then Triana Brown is the other one from Oklahoma. And honestly, I think they're doing really well. Mm-hmm. Like they were the ones that really stood out to me with like great walks.
I think,
I mean, granted, they competed at Miss America, so they should know what they're doing, and I would assume they'd have great interviews too.
Right. Oh, I'm sure.
But I've heard from girls before that have crossed over from MAO to USA or back and forth that the interviews are so different. So I really wonder, like,
how do you think they're different?
How that is? Well, I mean, I've heard. I don't know.
2 minutes.
Right. They're a lot shorter, and it's like a panel kind of thing. So you like switch. Mm-hmm. Like you're in there with another girl, at least at Miss Wisconsin USA.
Interesting.
So then you like face a panel and then you switch panels.
Right?
Yeah. So it's like a 2-minute interview or something like that. Like really quick compared to a 10-minute Miss America one.
But that's what's scary too, is even the best interviewer can have a bad day.
Right.
Which really is
so it's sad. All about like first impression with these kinds of things.
Right.
Your first look, your first impression, the important things you prioritize in those 2 minutes.
Exactly.
I imagine that's pretty tricky. But I think the Miss America girls will do pretty well.
I think so too.
This year. I think they really will.
I think so too. I think, again, I don't know too many USA girls, so I can't speak on it, but I do think a lot of Miss America girls who have been around the bend in the organization do come out really strong.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they come out they come out hitting.
That makes me anxious to see in the next couple of years, depending on where MAO goes. If there will be more MAO, like former state title holders, that will come over to Miss USA, or another state or another national organization like United States.
Do you know how successful USA girls are into transitioning to
MAO?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I can't think of.
I mean, McKenna Collins did it. She did USA for a while, and she came to MAO. She also has a knockout talent.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So that's what I wonder.
I know. I really do wonder, because I feel like, well, honestly, when I was reading through some of the bios for the Miss USA contestants, a lot of them do have really cool talents. Like, some of them have been, like, dancers before. Some of them sing. Some of them, like, Miss Nevada, I think, is a boxer. Like, you know, like, all these girls have really cool talents and hobbies, so I wonder if they would be able to transition that easily into MAO. I don't know if they will, because like, obviously Miss USA has like some really great sponsors and really great like prize packages and stuff, so I don't know if they would you know, want to go to MAO, but I would imagine that they could probably do pretty well.
Right. I think USA has pretty bomb sponsors.
Oh gosh, that's the one thing that I'm so jealous of that.
Right. But then too, it's like they have great sponsors, but think how much money you do spend in USA.
Exactly, because it is a for-profit organization.
Miss America.
Oh yeah.
And you know, then Miss USA is such a
pretty top notch.
Right.
Yeah.
It's everything's pretty much custom.
For sure.
Point, I want to say.
Yeah. So for prelim competition too, I just want to make clear, because for those of you who may not know, Miss USA and Miss America are very different.
Right.
Main difference is that there's no talent at Miss USA. So Miss USA, they still compete in interview, although it is shorter. They do swimsuit, evening gown, and then onstage question on the final night only with their semifinalists or finalists. So those are the main differences. So we will see on stage question, swim, and evening gown on the final night,
right?
Which will be cool to see. I'm always interested to see what their on stage questions are, because sometimes I feel like they're a little fluffy.
Yep, I agree.
A little bit,
but it's hard. I think I'm a stickler about on stage questions, and I said this before.
Yep.
I think almost fluffy ones aren't fair either. Like, what makes you happy? You know, things like that. I'm like, really? Like, that's what the question is?
The cheeseburger I'm about to eat after this is going to make me happy.
Right, exactly.
You know?
And I just, even MAO questions, I can tell you 99% of the pageants I go to, some of the on-stage questions I listen to, I'm like, really? Who the heck wrote that? That's stupid.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's dumb. And it makes me mad, because I think, first of all, I think context is important in the question. I think if you're giving an on-stage question, you sure as heck better be presenting both sides to it.
For sure.
And
so they can formulate an actual opinion.
Yes, exactly. I think just saying, like, how would you balance the budget?
Right.
Or
it's like, that's pretty open-ended,
exactly.
You know?
And how do you take that? I think they need to be really relevant. I know my question at Miss Wisconsin this year was about voting in Ohio. And I get that's maybe important to answer as Miss America, but at the same time, I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Am I running for Miss Ohio right now?
Right. Something that's out of state, something that you're not entirely aware of or need to necessarily be aware of.
I think it's just more like, let's just dig up a question.
Right.
And instead of asking a question that's going to show you what kind of person they are, what their intelligence level is. It's not even intelligence level, because I feel like I can write really great answers, but, you know, speaking something off the top of your head in a microphone to an audience of people is so different.
So different.
But also, just so many questions that I've heard are so one-sided. And I stand by this. I do think many panels and pageants themselves are very liberal.
Sure.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when somebody writes an on-stage question,
it needs to be as neutral as possible. It needs to be neutral,
or you need to present both sides. Whenever I've written on-stage questions, they've been very much like, I'm trying to think, when Amazon was going to raise the minimum wage to $20 an hour or something, it was like, you know, the one side claims that this will improve quality of life for everyone, etc., but one side also says that this will cause inflation and will, you know, lack people, whatever.
Right.
So
and then
like,
what do you believe?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
I think that's good.
I understand, you know, that to me that makes the most sense. Instead of some stupid, how would you fight ISIS?
Right.
Really?
Right.
No one knows that.
No one knows
that.
Our government can't answer that.
Right. And I'm sure as heck, knowing the person who's asking the question can't probably answer that.
Right.
A random audience member can't answer that.
No.
And yes, how do you expect these girls to be experts, in Children's Miracle Network hospitals, their platforms, and then know how to solve every single crisis?
Right.
I'm sorry, but it's not possible. It's never going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, what you're getting is girls just BSing their way out of it.
Oh, for sure. And that's the thing, too. It's like...
So it's, okay, it's honestly, how good can you BS?
Right.
Honestly.
Right, it is. And how good are you at just, like, coming up with something off of the top of your head?
Right. How good of a liar are you?
How good of a liar are you? But that's the thing, too, with Onstage Question is that, like, you can study every single issue there is and you will never be an expert, but I think it's about knowing a little bit about everything, or just in general being aware of something.
But it's also so...
But the questions are so in-depth, how would you know?
But it's also so easy to give the easy answer.
Oh, yeah.
Well, of course
World peace.
Yeah, no, it is.
Like we always say, world peace is the easy answer.
Right, and
everyone will get along.
Well, and that's the thing, too, is that so many questions, people just don't know what to say, so they do take the easy way out.
Yeah, instead of being honest.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly.
I agree.
I just don't like it. I've never been a fan of Onstage Question. I don't think that really dictates the person you are. I think, again, how well can you BS? We've all BS. I've seen people BS. I've heard people BS. Everyone does it.
Everyone does it. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I think the actual interview is a better gauge of who you are as a person and how well you can speak.
Right. I agree 100%.
Let's step off the rant soapbox. No, but yeah, we will see how that turns out, though. Tonight, during the final competition, we'll see what the onstage questions are like.
So excited.
One other thing that I kind of noticed during this broadcast is that there has been more diversity in body types.
Yes.
In this year, and probably in like the past couple of years, than there ever has been, I think, with USA. I think USA gets this stigma that it's only like these really tall, model-esque type of people, and of course they're beautiful and like they're all in great shape, but I've noticed like some girls are shorter, some girls may be curvier. There was even a couple girls in their bios where she was like, I used to be incredibly overweight and now I took care of my health and now I'm very healthy and I'm proud of it.
Right.
So I think it's becoming more diverse.
Yes, I think so too.
Than in former Miss USA years.
Yes, I think so too. I think they're kind of maybe proving a point, pretty is not a size.
Right.
Or intelligence is not a size.
Right.
Or elegance is not a size. Whatever they're trying to promote. Because, it is a modeling pageant. You're offered a modeling contract, so that's why I said pretty is not a size. I'm not just saying that you're only pretty.
No, but it is traditionally like a modeling organization.
It is a beauty pageant.
Yeah.
That is what it is. And there's so much service behind it, but it's traditionally branded as that.
Right. It's a for-profit organization that partners with the modeling and talent industry.
Right.
Like
exactly. That's the way it is.
That's just how it is. Yeah.
No, I agree. And
I did notice that. I thought it was kind of cool.
Right. And I just want to add in too that these opinions are our own.
We'll say that every time because
people just
stop coming for us.
People need to come for us, or they come for Jessica, which don't pick on Jessica because I will find you and I'll pick on you, and trust me.
I'm generally like a pretty open and laid back person, but if you start walking on that, I will walk all over you.
Who is this new person? No,
I've become a little bit more aggressive. Yeah. I don't want to say a lot more.
I'm rubbing off on you.
Yeah. Woo.
But yeah, these are our opinions. If you don't like them, don't listen.
Oh my God.
No, I'm just kidding. But honestly, these are our opinions.
Yeah, these are just little things that we noticed during the broadcast. So feel free, let us know what you thought about this year's broadcast, because
I'm excited to watch.
I'm excited.
I've grown to really appreciate USA, honestly.
Me too.
I like how modern it is. That's the pull for me, honestly, out of more than anything.
I love the fashion. I love
it's just more edgy, and I like that. But that's just how we feel about it again.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, let's see. Predictions.
Yeah, do you have favorites?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. All three of the MAO girls, I think, are standing out right now. I think they're doing great. Otherwise, Alabama, she was first in line, alphabetically.
Right.
So, like, naturally, she just kind of caught my eye.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought she did really well in swimsuit. She really stood out for me. Arkansas, which is an MAO girl, I thought she's doing great. Connecticut, I think, is a fan favorite. I've heard from a few people that Connecticut's really a standout, and I agree. Ohio, stunning. Yes. Absolutely stunning. And her platform, I think, is so cool because she's all about, like, not editing her photos. Like, even her official Miss USA photo is unedited.
I'm going to pull it up.
Which I thought was so cool. I'm like, that's kind of ballsy, but also, like, that's I don't know. I thought it was really cool. But she is absolutely stunning. I think her walk was great. Some of my other picks are Maryland, Mississippi, Nevada, New Mexico. I think is really cute. I didn't love her gown. Oklahoma, I think is standing out. Her body is fantastic. Texas, I don't know. Like right now, I have just like a handful that I think might do well, or ones that just kind of caught my eye right away. DC, loved her gown. Hawaii is cute. Illinois is cute. Kansas, North Carolina, Virginia, Florida. I don't know. I just have a handful that I'm like kind of keeping an eye on, and it kind of is going to come down to how tomorrow night goes. But overall, I think my absolute favorites right now are Arkansas, Connecticut, and Ohio. So
yeah, I have a girl crush on Ohio.
Oh,
for sure.
For sure. She's so beautiful. So beautiful. I love her. Her platform is pretty empowering. So I have a question for you though, Maddie.
Oh no. What?
If you could, would you compete at Miss USA like next month? If you could.
Would I have the full sponsors and glam squad and everything? Like, would I have all the benefits of Miss USA?
All the benefits.
Miss Wisconsin USA or Miss USA?
Miss USA.
So yeah, so I would be
So
Miss
yeah,
Wisconsin USA.
you'd have the full benefits. Would you compete if you could?
Yes. Would I get like a lipo treatment before? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I would.
Confidently beautiful, Madeline.
Right, that's true. No, I would not. No, lipo scares me. No, I would. I think it'd be really fun. I think it'd be really stressful.
For sure.
Could I would I have to quit my job and stuff, or would I have to do it all with all the things I'm doing now?
You'd have to do it all.
You
have to be that
work,
dynamic.
2 podcasts. Oh gosh, it would be so hard, but maybe I would do it.
I would for sure do it. For sure. I think it's so cool.
I think it would be fun, but it's a lot of money too.
That's the one thing that I think is holding a lot of people back is, because
money.
you are, since it's a for-profit organization, so you are, paying for production, paying for all that stuff. So if I had some good sponsors or people that would donate to make that happen.
I'm not about asking people for money. Like that's just not my thing.
I hate it.
I just get uncomfortable. Like not my thing. Plus two, it's all new. You have to get a new gown.
See, that's the thing too, because like
it's a few thousand.
If I had all the money in the world, absolutely.
Right.
But yeah, I think I for sure would.
Yeah, I think it would be fun. I think it'd be a good experience. To see what it's like. But I'd
be so curious.
Yeah, and I love how modern it is.
Yep.
Like for me personally, I love MAL and it will always have a special place in my heart, but I think that my personal styling is so much more USA.
Oh, I agree.
Than Miss America. And maybe one day I don't know though.
We will band together and we will compete together.
Right, but it would just be I don't know. I don't know what the benefit would be at this point.
Sure. Yes,
you can make a difference and everything, but at the same time,
then again, it might be a foot in the door for your kind of career path.
Yeah.
You never know.
But I mean,
you never know, Madeline.
Honestly, it's all in who you know.
Yep.
But I like the styling of it. I've always really liked that aspect of it. It's edgy. Would say I'm a pretty edgy person. Yeah,
agreed.
Like I said,
cool.
when I posted my back picture, somebody was like, "That's not Miss America. That's more USA." So
you're like, well, cool.
Come accept me now, Miss USA. But yeah, let us know.
Yeah, it would be fun. But yeah, let us know your thoughts about the competition. We'd love to hear from you who your top picks are, who you're looking at, who you're excited to see. We love to hear from that. But be sure to follow Public House Media and Crowned and Dangerous on Instagram and like us on Facebook. You can subscribe and rate and review the show wherever you're listening. Feel free to comment on our posts or email us or slide into our DMs with comments and suggestions because we love to hear from you.
But be nice.
Yeah, but be nice.
Don't bully.
Unless it's constructive.
Right.
We're not going to stop what we're doing, but we'll listen to you.
Don't come for Jessica, I'll come for you.
Yeah, I'm kind of over that.
I'm just being a mother bear.
I know, I do appreciate that. I'm just over people coming in and being like, let's attack Jess because she's a decent person.
Yeah. I'm not?
Oh no, you are. But you've told me that.
person.
You've told me that before though.
What?
You're like, people come after you because you're nice to them.
I think people come after you because I don't know if resilient is the right word, but I think with me, people won't confront me just because they know that if you come out with an aggressive tone, I'll give it to you back. Probably.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe I'll give it back to you worse. And I'm also very rigid, and I very rigid in the fact that I will always stand behind what I say and I do.
Yeah.
And I'm someone, that's kind of, and to me, you have to take criticism, you have to respect the person that's giving it to you and their opinion.
Right.
But you don't necessarily have to give them that power.
No.
But I also think people will do that just for their certain reasons. Maybe, again, they know maybe it's like their own insecurity.
Yeah.
Maybe they know we're right and they get upset.
Who knows? Maybe I'm just like an easy target because I'm like, I just kind of shrug things off.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like, whatever.
But I think too, you're just, again, how even Baxter said, like, you're kind of like, you're a sweetheart,
Well,
Miss Wisconsin sweetheart, you're a sweetheart in general.
Thanks.
Whereas, Baxter said to me, he's like, you'd break MAO.
You'd break MAO.
Break it. No, but
that's funny.
Yeah, I think it's honestly too. I think it's also demeanor on the podcast as well because we know each other off of air as well,
right?
And I can also be very sensitive.
Oh yeah,
you've seen me very sensitive before, and I've also seen you in times where you're like, I don't care.
Yep.
So it's all in perception, but
exactly. Moral of the story: don't come after us unless you have something good to say.
Right. And no, that's the thing too. It's funny because we're all about empowering women.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, part of my degree's in that, so come for me.
Women and gender studies.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like I said, both of us are super for empowering women. We support pageants. We love Miss USA. Yeah. We love Miss America.
Love watching this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we have a podcast about it.
Seriously, if we didn't appreciate this kind of stuff, then why would we talk about it?
Right, exactly.
And interview people about it.
Right.
It's important to us.
And our insight, too, is just unique as well. Just because, the years we've competed, what we placed, our experiences. So,
right.
You know what? We'll say what we want, Jessica.
That's right.
No, but we love all of you. So thanks for listening.
Yeah.
We love you.
We always have great things, coming in from you guys.
We do. We love that. I love when we get DMs. I was telling someone the other day about the awesome DMs we get, even people asking for advice.
I know. That's my favorite. So if you need any help with anything about any topic.
Yeah, honestly, we've answered a lot of advice that's not pageant related.
That's our favorite. So feel free to just DM us about everything, and we just love to hear about that.
Right. Good. And I think too, just putting this out there too, it's really nice when we get those DMs because I think that Jessica and I, believe it or not, I know maybe we come off as opposites on this podcast and we flip-flop sides, but we do agree on so much.
Oh, yeah.
I think we think the same way a lot. I think Jessica maybe is just a little bit nicer about saying it, and I'm a little bit more candid about saying it. Though I do have sensitivity.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Right.
I've seen it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's seen it. But no, I think we have something really special, and we share a lot of the same opinions and bonds, but we also offer
different perspectives.
Different perspectives.
On a lot of things.
Yep, same opinions, but we do it in different ways. And I think it would probably be really helpful.
Super cool.
I'm glad that we could help some people. But
yeah. Anyway, that was really long-winded. We'll wrap this up.
So long-winded. We'll be back in 2 weeks. You're welcome. On May 16th for a brand new episode. Maybe we'll recap Meg's birthday weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But this has been Maddie and Jess reminding you to always wear your invisible crown. Stand up for yourself. Keep it real. And if you do not know what to say, world peace.